Thomas the Tank Engine, the best show in my opinion? Well, a bit ago I found out all the engines are based on real-life trains. So that got me thinking, can I find out where the real-life island of Sodor is? Before we find out where the real-life island of Sodor is, I think it's really important to find out more about its characters. Each one is special and different, and there's a bunch of them laid out between books, classic series, and CGI animated things. What I'm about to show you is one of the only existing footages of the real-life Thomas the Tank Engine. In 3, 2, 1. Here is the real footage of an E2 class tank engine. Only 2 of the types like Thomas were built. They were usually used in the Southampton docks for shunting. It also, on occasions, pulled freight H trains like here and passenger trains, but it mostly helped on with loading and unloading from docks and, of course, shunting. Looking at the cars kind of looks like the troublesome trucks, and the cranes kind of look like the cranes you would find in random docks in the real-life series. This all feels like the island of Sodor. Or along with everything, I think this is the real-life engine. In fact, this is the real-life engine that's based off of. So, this is Edward. He was based off a K2 class steam locomotive. Henry is based off of a stainless black 5. Gordon was based after an A2 Pacific. James is based after LYR or 28 class. Percy is based after a saddle tank engine, most likely this one. Toby is based after a J70 steam tram. Duck is based after a GWR 5700. Donald and Douglas are based after a Caledonian 652. And only one of them survives to this day. Don't eat me. I don't want to end up just like my brother. No, please don't eat me. No, not Diesel 10. So now I know what happened to the other sibling. Now let's focus back to where the island of Sodor is. So we already know that it's in the UK because, the UK has a lot of trains, I guess. So with that information, let's find out where it is. The island is in between the Isle of Man and Barrow and Furness. And for some reason, I keep calling the Isle of Man the Isle of Man because when I first saw where it is, that's what I first called it. So anyways, let's keep on looking where it could be. Now I'm about to show you a map where you're going to see all the things. There it is. So right there you can see the UK, and right between the Isle of Man and right there is where the island of Sodor would be. There's the Isle of Man that does have steam trains on it. There is a Barrow and Furnace with the real Vickers town. I think some of you recognize that from the show. There's the bridge to the mainland, as in the show. And right around from that Southampton, and that's where the E2s work. So now how do we find out where the real-life island of Sodor is? We have many different places. The Isle of Man has steam trains, but they're narrow gauge. And plus it doesn't even have any real-life engines that were actually in the show, like any E2 tank engines. And the real place where real E2 tank engines worked is all the way around Southampton docks. So it doesn't really even work either way. So what do? We just need to keep thinking and keep looking at other places. Another place is UK Day Out with Thomas. So let's look at that on the map. So right here is the map of the UK. Right over there's the day out with Thomas. There's Southampton, and where the real Thomas worked, the E2 tank engines. And that is the day out of Thomas. And that photo looks really creepy of Thomas. I'm pretty sure that's not the real one. I just had the perfect idea. What if a train that saw an E2 tank engine went to the real-life island of Sodor, which is around the Isle of Man and Barrow and Furnace. Perfect idea, right? And it works out perfectly because not a real-life E2 tank engine even went into around that area. They only stayed around London and the docks of Southampton. So in conclusion for that area, Thomas didn't really do much. No, I mean like the real life Thomas the E2 tank engine. So let's look more into the Isle of Man. So right here is a train from the Isle of Man, and this one is named Loch. It is number 4. Just so you know that all the trains here are narrow gauge, you can maybe see that. But it doesn't really look like a Gordon. It kind of looks like a James. But let's look at this one. This one, I forgot the name, but I do know that's number 11, which ties up with Oliver, or which is number 11 in the show. And it does look like him. It is green, so you got that. It kind of reminds me of Henry as a green engine, which the real number 3 from this railroad stopped. Rest in peace. So in conclusion, the real life island of Sodor should be the Isle of Man. Here's some more videos of trains from there and some fun facts. Fun fact about the Isle of Man. The railroad was made around 1870, and it's a narrow gauge railroad. Not a lot of railroads are narrow gauge. Most of them are standard gauge because it's standard. Here you could see their locomotive Loch, which is number 4. And if you know in this show, number 4 is Gordon and pulling in the express usually, but this doesn't really look like the express, so I guess this is the express now. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Trains, trains, trains.